Welcome to Disengaged, the podcast. I'm Leah Harding, your host. I have been dying to say that for years now. This whole concept has been in my brain, just living rent-free for like 4 years. So to get this out and to like be in your ear right now is wild to me. And I'm so excited for this next chapter. So welcome. We're here. Let's do the thing. So like, what is this? Okay. Like, why are we here? What's going on? And it really has been playing around in my head in a loop. And so I have really been trying to organize my thoughts. And when I look back, it all starts with the time that I was engaged, the period of planning the wedding, and then the day that I looked my fiance in the eyes and called it off. I remember it very well. And I have been healing and growing and morphing ever since. And I've learned some things along the way that I really think more people need to know, because I wish I knew these things back when. Yeah, it's like, I'm like, surely this isn't just me, but then why don't people talk about this? And if the pinnacle for me was trying to get out of this thing that was pushing me down the aisle towards marriage, I was like, surely other people feel this way. And then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, oh my goodness, Leah, how many people do you know that have been divorced? Like, how many people do you know? So many, right? Like, maybe your parents, certainly some of your friends, your parents' friends. Like, it's more common than not for these marriages to end in divorce. But then, who do you know that's called off an engagement? Like, crickets, right? Like, maybe one, if that. And like, why? Shouldn't those statistics be switched? After my engagement ended, after I ended it, because I was like, there was like a desert of information about like what happens after you end an engagement. A literal desert, like nothing. I could find nothing that resonated with me, which is shocking given how many people like get married. But I was like, wait a second, people just aren't calling off engagements. So like there's no content to like help people who have or who want to. So I wrote a blog about it, and the blog like blew up, you guys. Like, I get people like writing me all the time saying like, oh, I feel this way too. It's like, they're like, oh yes, I know this feeling. Like, he hasn't done anything wrong, or she's great, I still love her, but like, I don't want to get married, but I don't want to end it. And I know that I'm just going to I'm going to break their heart. And that's like, I know what that feels like. I can tell you firsthand. I have been there. And I'd love to talk more with you about it. And that's why we're here. But if that is you, just know right now, like, put a flag in the ground, draw a line in the sand. And like, I'm here to tell you, like, you're not going to die. You're going to be okay. Hang in there. Take it day by day. Like, it's hell. It is terrible. But the cost of not self-advocating is even higher. Since I ended my engagement, I have been able to take this bird's eye view on how I have been trained my entire life to make sure other people are happy, and my happiness is directly linked to people that I'm being around also being happy. There is a culture that I've grown up with that perpetuated this type of thinking. Because I'm like, okay, I didn't just get engaged and then like had my tongue tied. Like, this was a recurring training. Like, what I truly wanted and whatever I needed was always second to like the group think or to someone else. Like, and it goes down to like, if I have to like, I don't know, like get up and go to the bathroom during a movie. Like, I wouldn't, because I didn't want to disrupt other people, but then I'm sitting there like miserable. And it's like that, but like on steroids and also like reoccurring. And maybe you're like, Leah, you've got serious problems. And I'm like, listen, I'm the first person to raise my hand if someone says who has problems here. Like, I'm in therapy, don't worry. But I think this is more common than what we think. And I see signs of it like all around in my life and in other people's lives, in media. And like, I mean, if you watch Love is Blind, like during the reveals, the ones who like aren't into it, you can feel the tension of like, they are thinking, what the hell am I doing here? Don't continue with this. Don't continue with this. But they do. It's usually the woman. You can like read her, but they keep going through with it. And you're like, no, stop. Or like Taylor Swift singing about champagne problems. Like your heart was glass, I dropped it. And sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knee and asks you. I digress. But where I'm going with this, I think is like, why as a society are we trained this way? And then how in the world can we start to get out of this? When I realized something was seriously off with my engagement, and I reference this a lot, and I will continue to, because this to me was like the pinnacle of it all. The big slap across my face, like, wake up, Leah, this is your life. Don't live it for anyone else. It's when I started to Google how to end an engagement. What do I do? How do I behave? What do I say? Like, I was literally looking for like a rule book. Like, this is how one ends their engagement. And I couldn't find it. All it was like, he cheated. 5 ways to know he's being unfaithful, or this is how you know you're financially not compatible. And I was just like, none of that's me. Like, he hasn't done anything wrong per se. Like, I think I've just changed my mind. I think I definitely said many times to him, like, yeah, let's get married. And I think part of that was also me like wanting to believe it and not even knowing how myself to like navigate my own feelings. But like, when I started asking everyone their opinion and looking for a sign, that was me looking for someone, anything, to give me the green light to speak for myself. Like, that is so sad. Like, that's so sad. Like, my heart breaks for Leah. She was trying, and like, she was successful. Like, she was on TV. She's a journalist. Like, and she had this fiance. She was living in the Middle East in a capital city. She wasn't paying taxes legally because you don't pay taxes in a lot of Gulf countries in the Arab world. Anyway, and like, I had all of these things going for me, but like, I could not even speak for myself. And like, the Southern culture doesn't help. The church, in my case, did not help, because all of these things were just reinforcing this narrative that like, you jump into this river and there are these predetermined paths for you, and you've got to buckle up and smile and tell everyone you're having a great time. And if you don't feel great about it, just call it cold feet, or just say you're nervous, or silly me, and continue on doing the thing and continue pushing the buttons and continue doing the norm. And I had a breaking point. I mean, I was 28 and I was like, I don't even know what this is, but I have to speak my truth. And I thought I was being honest to my ex, my then fiance. I said so many times, like, I don't feel great about this. And he even took it as cold feet. Like, even the person that was supposed to be the closest person to me wasn't trusting me, really, wasn't taking me at my word. I just think it takes us way too long to realize, wait a second, I have been living my life, and my happiness's burden has been on if people around me like me and are happy with the decisions that I'm making. Am I fulfilling their prophecy of who they think I should be? And the answer is, I'm fulfilling their prophecy, but I'm like completely ignoring mine. So that's like a lot to chew on, but that's the kind of basis from where I'm coming from, and the reasoning that I've wanted to do this podcast and talk to you about it, because I think there needs to be more information about this. There needs to be a stronger community of like, you can change your mind. Are there consequences to changing your mind? Absolutely. Okay, I probably picked the worst time ever to end my engagement, January 2020. Okay, so you know what came next. And the pain, the heartache, the depression, the anxiety, the loss of friends, the loss of community, people picking sides, like it's painful. But I've got to believe that that pain is possibly less, but also more beneficial than pain deferred, where there's maybe kids involved or there's a legal document signed, like where families have spent several holidays together. Like, it's only ever going to just get worse. It's like a lie, or like someone who's buried a body, and this is not personal experience, but who's like, I'm not going to tell anyone, or I'm going to deny it. And then that just builds and it starts eating away at you. And I just don't think that's worth it. Like, and I'm not here also saying that everyone who's engaged needs to end their engagement, okay? I am not against marriage at all. I'm not against dating. I'm in the dating scene now. It's pretty trash, but here we are. Yeah, I'm not against unions or men or women. Like, that's not what this is all about. This is about making sure that you can listen to yourself and tools that you can find to make sure that you are doing what's right for you. And so, like, what tools have I used? What tools have other really amazing women in my life and in society, what tools have they used to be authentically them and to self-advocate? And so we're going to talk to some of these women along this journey. And my promise to you is that these podcasts are going to be pretty short. This is no like serial, okay? I want these to be something you listen to on a commute to work, on a walk with your dog. Like, we're not taking 90-minute walks with our dogs. If you are, that's amazing. Like, tell me how. But like, I want these to be really succinct and to the point. And so then we can also get through a lot of different topics. And I want to hear from you. I have an Instagram. The DMs are open. It's at via_Leah. And I would love to hear from you. And my website, leahharding.com, there's a connect tab where I would love to get a message from you as well. Fun fact about this podcast is I was in a studio today recording my first episode. I did some pilot episodes to like get an idea of like what I wanted this to be, like a more clear cut thing. And I did a whole episode and I was putting it all together. And I was like, this isn't really authentic. Like, it didn't feel like me. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to change the intro. And I'm like, now like it's a weird match to like what I recorded now versus like what I recorded in the studio. I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, if authenticity and raw and vulnerability is like where we're starting at here, like, I need you to know right now I am in my closet on the floor and my cat keeps coming in here and like trying to like cuddle me. And I'm like, no. So no glamour here, guys. This is real life and I want you to be a part of it. So from my closet, I'm so glad you have stayed with us. I say us, my cat, dog, and I, through this initial episode. And I'm so looking forward to navigating this really messy, complicated topic, but also like just trying to let you know, like, you're not alone and your voice and your perspective and what you need is so important. So like, let's learn how to harness that. Let's learn boundaries. When someone knocks on the door and I don't want them to come inside, what if I said, hey, now's not a great time. Like, it's good to see you, but I'm having some alone time and I need some space right now. Like, what? Like, can you say that? It's like, yeah, I think you can. And I've been practicing this like the last few years and like, I'm slowly becoming more and more free. Like, I don't have to be everything to everyone. And if someone's unhappy with me because of my authenticity, I'm not saying be rude, but like in the door example, like, then so be it. Again, there are two costs here. There's the cost of the action and the immediate response, whether it be from your friends or like how you feel. And then there is the consequence of I'm continuing on in these ways and this is all going to catch up to me. It's like eating donuts every single day. You might not feel great every single day, but I tell you what, you're not going to feel great in like 60 years when all of your arteries are clogged. Like, let's unclog the arteries now. Let's self-advocate now. Let's help each other in these, oh no, I'm engaged. What do I do? let's maybe, first of all, not get married, if that's you. Hit pause, and let's talk about how we can navigate this. It's sticky, but I want to let you know I've been there, and you're going to be okay. So, Disengage the podcast is officially launched, and I'm just sitting here feeling very humbled, not because I'm in my closet by my shoes, but because you're listening, and that's all I could ask for. So, another episode's coming up, and I will see you there.